about Hearthstone. We are recording live on the evening of October 18th. I'm your host, of Nitro Kolev, and as usual, joining me are my two wonderful colleagues and co-hosts, Stefan and Chiv. This is episode 61. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing, man. We're doing.
Yeah.
I've been having to work through, accounting and math and all that other fun stuff, but GG.
Why are you doing accounting and math?
It's a manager's job, man. Let me tell you. I feel more like an accountant and a travel agent than an esports manager on a good day.
Are you prepping for dream hacks? Like for the American dream hacks?
Of course we're prepping for it. Prepping for a lot of things.
You said as if it's a secret. It's not secret. DreamHack Americas are coming next year, like a lot of them, so...
Yeah, we are prepping for it. We're planning on hitting them up as much as we possibly can, because I've been getting some weird information in the grapevine, and yeah, these are going to be really big for us.
Stefan, what have you been up to?
I've been celebrating holidays, so it's actually been playing a ton of WoW. Fuck.
There's a holiday. What holiday is there in Denmark? Hamlet Day?
Ha! No, it's just fall vacation.
Oh,
fall vacation's a holiday there? Jesus Christ!
Fall vacation. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Then again, I can't really say anything. We have a holiday for a man who apparently discovered the New World but never actually came to this land.
I see Raven is in chat. I'll try to get him on the show, guys, for you, because I know everybody's a big fan of Raven. I almost said Reynard. Less fans of Reynard.
Raven has much better hair. Let's get that right now.
Much better hair than this is, because he's. I just love brunettes, man. He's a sexy little brunette. Has the British accent and everything. So,
careful, Stefan. You're next.
Yeah, but Stefan doesn't have an UK accent, so he's way down the line. Anyways, let's start the show, guys. And the first topic on our list is, of course, the Last Call America's Invitational, which happened this Saturday. Ended up with BB Gun winning. BB Gun probably the most unlikely winner of them all, considering who was actually playing. He beat Silent Storm 4-2 in the Grand Finals, and this completes the lineup for BlizzCon. He is the last 16th player to have punched his ticket for the World Finals. So congratulations to BB Gun, not really having done anything else throughout the year, but... I mean,
no. He had high placements in other tournaments.
Yeah,
he's also part of. He runs the QQ playtest group. That's pretty much all of the Chinese Americans or Chinese Canadian players all over the NA region. So he's worked with a lot of the people that were actually participating at the DreamHack. So I mean, he had kind of that inside track on a lot of what they were going to be playing because he trained with all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's also one of the analysts for Temperstorm Metashot, right?
Is he? Oh, that's good.
I believe so, yeah. So, I mean, you could say it's like, oh, well, he's never really done anything. That's not entirely true.
No,
he's been around.
No, I just meant in terms of high-profile results in tournaments, because if you compare him to the other players who were at Last Call, we had your boys, we had Silent Storm, we had guys who played in the past championships. BB Gun was kind of like in the back, right? Like nobody really picked him as the winner, but
he's the purple of this year. Like he's the analyst that's always been the back, but just
like
decided.
Gosu pickings, everybody went frozen. Like an enormous amount went frozen, which was pretty much like the curse right there. Admirable picked Muzzy, which I was like, oh no,
stop predicting my players, Jesus.
I know. At that point, I just wanted to send him a big juicy steak. He's like, here, just eat this and stop talking, please.
Speaking of your boys, Chiv, I think by far Frozen's and Muzzy's elimination are the biggest upsets of the tournament. seeing how the bracket was aligned, everybody was like, okay, it's a Frozen versus Muzzy grand final, right? It has to happen.
That was what a lot of people were predicting, but if you actually talk to the boys, that's not what they were seeing, because they saw it a totally different way. Like, if you look at their lineups and what they brought, obviously, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Frozen's lineup, I'm going to target your warrior, and I'm going to make sure it never gets a win. That was the strategy. It's not a strategy you see a lot of. Hey,
that didn't work.
It didn't work out. I mean, it was a bold gambit, all right? I'm going to say that right now. It was a bold gambit. It was a strong gambit, but at the same time, this is Hearthstone. RNG will eventually get you. And he had to win how many games with this sort of lineup and basically had to maintain. I mean, he was favored like 66%, if not higher, with all those matchups against Warrior. But the problem is that 33% will eventually kick in. And
if
that's
you can't
exactly
win
what happened.
any of the other ones, then
Yeah.
holy shit. Like, this is why Conquest is kind of praised for being so hard to game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it gets a little boring in the long run.
Yeah, it does. But even with his elimination in mind, I think Frozen generated so much hype and talk around him. Like, he was the dude to watch on October 15, right?
Seriously, you should have seen the stream numbers. Like, okay, here's Frozen. The moment Frozen get on, like, they had about like 20K beforehand, with the Muzzy and the other match, and then here comes Frozen. All of a sudden, the numbers for Twitch tripled, and this was actually streamed in multiple. Like, I saw French, Russian, Korean. There were so many different rebroadcasts of this. The actual total was pretty damn high. Pretty damn high, probably higher than the European last call.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, well, of course, because people wanted to see the guy who had the balls to break Priest to last call.
I mean, it wasn't just Priest, though, although the Priest was obviously the driving force behind the viewership, because how long has it been since we've seen Priest in tournaments? Like, in a big tournament, probably a couple of months at least.
Outside of what's going on right now over in China, a while.
Yeah, I mean, just in the West, in major tournaments in the West, because China obviously has to play Priest because of their team league rules. They have to play all 9 classes. But in major tournaments, I think the last big, really major tournament with Priest doing well was Ness winning True Silver, right?
Yeah, because that was before the standard rotation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I mean, But good for Frozen. I think it showed massive balls to bring this lineup. It wasn't just the Priest, as you said. It was the N'Zoth Paladin, the N'Zoth Hunter.
He was the only person to bring Paladin and Priest. This was probably the first time we saw all 9 classes represented in a championship tournament like this.
Oh yeah,
I
don't think it's ever been done this year, at least.
No, not this year.
I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's either the only one, and again, I mean, in the West, I don't really can't remember the Chinese, championships, Gold Series and whatnot. Probably we could have seen some Priest there, but again, I'm not really sure. But in the West, it's pretty rare to see all 9 classes, especially considering how bad Priest is. So, applause for Frozen. Massive tip of the hat to him for bringing this crazy lineup. Like, if he had pulled it off and he qualified, for BlizzCon on top of it, he would be my go-to guy to watch at the World Finals. I would be rooting for him.
Oh, yeah.
With every cheer I've got. Like, forget Thijs, forget all the European guys, forget my European bias. It would have been all Frozen all the time, because he is the Priest god, man. He would have been the Priest god.
Somewhere in Europe, Zedalot's going, "You are my idol."
This was Zedalot's list, right? Like, card for card?
Variant of it, yeah. But the most interesting part about this, there's actually several factors that are very interesting about this whole thing, even before the tournament actually happened. I had people messaging me on Skype, on Twitter, on Twitch, my fucking email, saying, "Hey man, you need to tell Frozen not to play Priest. What does he think? You need to talk to him. He could get this changed, right? You need to do something." And my response is, "How many majors have you won?"
Yeah.
None? Then go fuck yourself.
No, yeah.
I actually said that to friends who I've known for quite some time. I was like, look, I'm not going to tell the player how to play his game, and neither should you. All right? He had a plan. He went big. It didn't work, but you know what? Sometimes the attempt is just as good. So this is hugely good for his reputation. It's hugely good for his public image and things of that nature. So in all honesty, it's a win in my book. Yeah, him going to BlizzCon would have been a whole lot better, but you got to find a silver lining in every dark cloud.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame his lineup just entirely, right? It's just sometimes it's not your day, right? You lose. This is Hearthstone.
Well, his opponent literally knew what his decks were, and he saw the line that he was taking, and he made the right choices because he played out of the sequence that you would normally expect, and it threw the entire game plan off, and he did it correctly. So I really can't fault anybody on this. Frozen did well in my personal opinion.
This is when I saw Frozen's lineup, this is what I thought. It would have been so cool if players didn't know their opponent's decks, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Because the list didn't really make sense. It's not your usual usual priest as much as there is a usual priest. Because when you see a priest on ladder, it's usually the resurrect versions. When they just bring back Inter Blademaster over and over again.
Or Priest of the Feast over and over again.
Priest of the Feast. But this had double mind control. This is a card that hasn't seen...
That blew me away, too, when I saw that.
This is a card that hasn't been in a deck since it was nerfed in 2014. So this is...
No, it showed up in 2015 a little bit, but only as a one-off.
Really?
Never two.
Yeah, never two. Right, it had Curator, if I'm not mistaken. It had all crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's funny. In interviews, he said, look, this deck will lose against everything except Warrior,
man. Yeah.
That's my game plan. Get him to Warrior. I'll lose everything else, but I get him to Warrior. I got you. I put you behind the 8-ball. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to put you away. It didn't work out that way, but it was a strong tactical read. It was a strong conceptualization, and unfortunately, RNG, as well as his opponent, knew it, read it, countered it. It's just the way it goes. But the other little fun point of this, moving on to the other player from Luminosity who was playing, was Muzzy. And there's been a lot of kind of things being said. He chokes at every major event, this, that, and the other. And, okay, a lot of players don't generally always overly perform that well. You look at Chacky, he would get to that end game final and just could not push over there. There's been a lot of players who did that. And then once they got over that hurdle, they became just huge. So I actually sat down with both Frozen and with Muzzy after the game. All right, so what'd you learn? What do you see anything in here? Have you gone back and rewatched the VODs? It's yeah. It's okay, can you see any misplays? No. I was just the RNG is okay. And when I talked with other players in the team and all that, it's well, maybe we could work here, maybe we could work there. There's definitely room for improvement, and Muzzy's a great player, but he's got to evolve more. He's got to find his own.
Absolutely.
And right now, I think he's right there. And I kind of take really offense to people's he's a choke artist. No, he's not. Trust me, when he's up there and performing, he's not. The nerves are not on him like they have been on other players. He's actually pretty solid all around. So it's it happens.
I mean, we had a conversation with you just yesterday about the whole Muzzy thing and him playing in the last call, and we tried to identify what his problems might be. And my theory was he needs to be at more events, right?
He does, and that's the thing. The only way, if you do have stage performance issues, the only way you're going to get over that is either counseling or things of that nature. But really, the best way is you got to get in the thick of things. And let's be honest, other than 2 dream hacks, Muzzy really hasn't gotten that much exposure. And unfortunately, one of those dream hacks was in a place where they speak French, so God help him. But yeah, you really got to get that exposure. You really got to get your time on that stage in order to move through that. And I'll tell you right now, there's been a lot of really great players who, once they got to that stage, it was so terrifying for them, they never came back.
All right.
So the fact is, he's still going back, and he still keeps getting there. And in time, he's going to find his win. Not everybody gets their win first time at bat, especially in Hearthstone, unless your name is Tice.
Well, as we said, the lineup is complete now for Americas. It was the last region that completed his lineup. Where do you guys think the region stands compared to the other ones. Stefan?
It's really hard not to side with EU. Like, and I mean really hard. Like, we are not Mexico, okay? We do send our best, okay? And
Yeah.
And quite frankly, like, it's, I have to stick with EU. Like 9-man ties, like these are some of our most prepared players, and you know, and you might say, well, it might turn out differently. That was kind of the story we were last year too, and you know, we had that amazing semi-final between the two EU champions, and then you know, it was time to see if the EU really could be challenged by the outsider, so to speak, and he just got flattened. I can't even remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Hot Form in the finals.
Hot Form, and he just got flattened out. So, you know, I can't really stick against EU from after last year.
Yeah, I've been trying to identify, you know, weaknesses in the European lineup, and there are certainly some. Right, Thijs NL hasn't been the Thijs we know in 2016. I think it's probably the worst year of his career, right? Like, even if you compare it to the 2014 when he was, you know, just on the rise, it's still bad, man. Like, he goes to majors and he just loses in the first round or in the early rounds. Now he finished second in the Kingwin for Charity Invitational behind Life Coach, and that's certainly good. But it's just a 16-man invitational. It's nothing. We don't really count those anymore as important events, and we shouldn't. So okay, so there's Thijs's, you know, weakness, and then Nyman, who has also been struggling after winning Winter. You know, we don't really know if he's in top shape or not. I think Dr. Hippie is by far probably the best player of the four. You know, even when put next to Nyman and Thijs, who are, you know, general monsters of the game. And then Pavel, like,
see, I think it's going to come down to Dr. Hippie and Pavel basically carrying the EU banner to the finals for BlizzCon. I honestly do. I mean, it's going to be one of those two going to push it to the finals. But I think, like, I know somebody's going to be like, well, you're from the NA, you should be rooting for NA. No, unfortunately, I really can't, as much as I'd like to. I mean, I love Amnesiac, and I am going to support him the whole freaking way. But when I look at a lot of what's coming in here, I have to point to APAC being really strong, China definitely be really strong. So it's going to be a slugfest out there.
I was saying that,
and I got a feeling it's either going to be APAC or China taking home BlizzCon.
Okay, that would be cool. Because Asia has never taken BlizzCon, you know, so far. The first one was in the Americas, and now in Europe. It would be cool if we had, you know, every region get to win a BlizzCon, right? That would be a storyline that we can follow. I don't want to be Europe every single fucking year, right? Even though I'm from the region.
It won't be this year. I'll put money on that right now.
You said APAC and China are strong, though. Are you saying Americas is the last of the four?
If I had to put it ranking, I mean, I still have to give the nod to EU being first in there, but not by a huge margin. Next, I would put basically APAC, then China. And again, those margins are very, very slim. Unfortunately, when you get to NA, that margin grows quite a bit.
Yeah, so I don't want to the viewers to think that we are trashing on the players, because we certainly not. I think all of us will agree they just need to be at more events. They just need experience, because Amnesiac is the best known name, and he's best known for a reason, but he has very limited tournament experience, even him, right? Then we have Sidonia, who's won one tournament. Then we have BB-Gun, who's won one tournament. Who's the Hotmail, who's won one tournament. All of the other guys have only one championship behind them. Right. This is their entire major appearance, and those weren't even like big major events, right? Surely the championship is huge in terms of prize pool and prestige, but it doesn't have the audience, doesn't have the pressure, it doesn't have $1 million hanging on your shoulders, right? Yeah. This is going to be a crushing pressure. So for Americas, it's all about in my eyes, it's all about them being mentally stable, right? Not surrendering to nerves, not panicking, just playing their cool. And if they can do that,
I think the big thing that's going to help carry NA to a possible victory this year is not trying to game the system, not trying to go for that rogue counter, instead going to the power picks. Because what we've seen a lot, especially coming from NA, especially from my team, is we go for the rogue play. We go for the let's target warrior, not ban it out, let it in, and we're going to challenge it that way. And that hasn't worked out overly well in the past for a lot of NA players. So I think we're going to have to see a change in that philosophy.
Yeah. But I'll have to agree with you about APAC and China actually being strong contenders. In the past, haven't really been as as strong, right? In 2015, China had two from Celestial who are probably the best players there, but certainly not the best players in China, because Chao Shen, who was considered the Hearthstone prodigy of that year, kind of retired before BlizzCon, right? He stopped playing. Now China has Breath, who is a long time player, having played in a lot of Team League matches, and they have Jason Ju and Omega Zero, who are fantastic.
Didn't Dixon just beat Breath though? I think so, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Zizu beat Breath, but Breath gave him all 17 series in the series.
Yeah, he did. He took it to the fucking limit, man.
Yeah, Breath, the Chinese player going head-to-head with the best player in the world, hands down, no argument there. Almost beating him, by the way, in the best of 17 today. It shows that China is fucking strong, man. They are taking it seriously this year, because Final D, Steeler, Celestial, lashes have paid off, and they're kind of serious about it. Obviously, the infrastructure is much better this year in China. It's kind of breeding these good players. I don't know about Hamshiro or Hamster as they describe him. I think he's a rather new player on the scene, but Omega Zero and Jason Ju are definitely players you have to watch for. And in APAC, obviously, we're talking about Handsome Guy. And we're going to...
how can you not talk about Handsome Guy?
How can you not, man?
This guy's been to the show how many times now? All right, and he did something that Amnesiac could have also possibly have done too, but he ended up just conceding out of it because he had the whole graduation thing. So I mean, Handsome Guy I think is on like this really hot streak right now, and it's going to be the question: will it continue? Can he actually push that momentum going forward? And I'd like to believe that he can, because this would be like the epic story. Won this one, came to BlizzCon and won it. Like, this is the year of Handsome Guy.
Yeah,
I think that
because he has to prove himself, right? Because everybody's doubting him, like saying, okay, he won these championships, but it was only because of APAC is weaker, because of the seeding snowballing and whatnot. So some of it is true to some extent, right? He did really get a lot of help from the APAC seeding system, and APAC is nowhere near strong as Europe. So maybe George C's and Dr. Hibby's repeat championships are way more impressive, but still, this is a guy who made 3 back-to-back grand finals, and that's not easy.
No, it's not easy at all. And in all honesty, I mean, if you really think about storylines when you're coming into BlizzCon, we have like a couple of really good ones. We have Nyman's redemption story, which would, culminating at a win at BlizzCon would be like the ultimate fucking topping for that story right there. Then you've also got the Handsome Guy story of determination finally paying off in victory. So I mean, it's literary gold right now for these two storylines. But then people are going to focus on those two storylines, but I think that's where they're going to miss out on some of the really good games that you're going to see that aren't involving those two players.
I love the fact that BlizzCon is, as you said, just full of good narrative this year. I think we kind of lacked in 2015 because it was mostly, can Thais win it? And if Fuskaku will finally break out. I think these were the storylines, right? They were just, both of them were in Europe, and this kind of takes away, right? And I think this year's BlizzCon is way much more hype, right? It's a writer's paradise. Like, if I sit now, I can produce 15 articles right before the time BlizzCon starts, just following these storylines, and hyping them up. And we actually do that, so follow Ghostly Gamers too for that. But anyways, I want to...
sellout
Pew,
mode
pew, pew.
engaged.
Yeah, the quick plug of, yeah, we'll have some content for you, surprisingly, for BlizzCon. But I want to talk about another tournament, and which started today, which we kind of mentioned in passing about the Zizo Breath series. It's the Celestial League, organized by...
Almost like I have show notes to read.
Yeah, organized obviously by Team Celestial with the help of the official Blizzard streaming partners in China, so Neo TV and I think Douyu TV is the other one. It's a $60,000 league that will go for 3 months, so it will end somewhere in December. It has 12 players in 2 round-robin groups of 6. They will play, the round-robin groups, and then the top 4 will go to the playoffs. All pretty standard up to this point, and from there on it gets fucking insane, because I don't know who is behind this format, and if it's the Celestial dudes, huge bow, like huge courtesy to you guys, because not only are they having best of 17 matches, yep, that's right, best of 17 matches, all 9 classes are always used in every single series, they're also changing the format every week. And I don't just mean Last Hero Standing to Conquest, they're going from Standard to Wild, and also having different variations of Wild. One is a pure Wild, like no bans, another one is Wild with GVG ban, and the other one is Wild with next ban. And every week we'll be seeing a different format. I think we'll have 10 matches? No, 8 matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. No, 6 matches, I think.
No, 6.
Yeah, 6 matches. So every player gets to play a game each week and test himself in the format of this week. So this is amazing. Now, Stefan, I'm gonna throw the ball in your corner, because I know you've been asking for wild tournaments for a long time. Like, we want to see in this format. What are your thoughts on Celestial League?
It's great because we haven't. It's not going to be balanced. Okay, like, this is something that people need to knock out of their head right now. It's not going to be balanced, but it's going to be great.
Balance, Blizzard.
It's a fucking balance. I mean, not even standards balance, right? So
well,
4 mana 7/7. Enough said.
Yeah. Good luck trying to beat. Good luck with that 4 mana 7/7 against Ensoft Secret Paladin, but and also you're gonna have either that or pre-nerfed Murloc Paladin for the ultimate combo, and that works even with Nax or DVD ban. So good luck. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of broken stuff in this tournament, and Priest is surprisingly good off for that. So,
wow, Priest finally good in 2016.
I know, right?
I think this is actually interesting, because when they announced the whole Wild format initially, it was like, oh, it's going to be supported format, and when they were talking about the tournament structure for the seasons, like, we may change it up, we might take the format a different way. That never did any of that shit whatsoever. It's like Blizzard kind of dropped the ball on this, but it's really nice to see somebody else picking it up and showing, hey, here's what it should have looked like, guys.
Yeah.
So, yet again, China making NA look like crap.
Yeah, it's the lab is pretty sick, by the way. You can check it on Ghost Gamers. We have a coverage code for this, so you can go and see the standings at all times. But we have, I think, I'll just open it for you guys and go through the names that will play over the next 3 months. So in Group A, we have Zizo Eloise, Life Coach Ardir, Zhang Bo, and Breath. In Group B, you have Dog, Jason Ju, who will be at BlizzCon, as we mentioned. Kulento Lovelychuk, who was the dude that won the Ferrari by, being the first guy to ever win a tournament for China against the West. And we have Reynat and Tyson L. So a lot of salt will be had in Group B.
I don't know. Reynat in China, man. Every time he's been in China, that's always ended up in an interview where he's talking about renting a scooter and going off to a desert and dying.
Well, to be fair, I think in one of the NEL seasons, the predecessor of the team league that we have now in China, Tempo Storm got top 4, I believe, if not even to the made it to the grand final. So it's not been all bad for Reynard and Co. In China. We'll see how it goes. His group is ridiculous, so if he actually makes it out of the playoffs, it's going to be a surprise. Especially him running a team at the same time and not really having the time to practice. But ridiculous lineup.
Right.
So you should definitely watch this because, first of all, there's nothing else, right? BlizzCon will start, but beyond that, that's all. And Celestial, the Celestial Week will guarantee you that every day of the week for about 3 hours, because best of 17s take some time, you'll have something to watch. So go check it out.
Though apparently there's some issue right now with people over in Europe trying to watch the VODs of it, like that are being put on YouTube, because of like Sony Music Entertainment copyright bullshit. Like, moment the thing hit the YouTube, it instantly got flagged and shut down.
Oh, that's weird.
Well,
yeah, like
that could also be that they haven't got enough license for the music they're using, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll say this right now. Like, the production side for the event was actually pretty well done. The casters that they had doing the English cast were really nice. But I liked some of the stuff that they were doing. Like, they were doing these similar to what Blizzard does to, like, introduce the players and all that. But it was more fun. It was more, I don't know, kind of like flashy than what Blizzard does. Blizzard's more like, we're gonna pull your heartstrings. They did it a little bit more fun. And a little bit more, internet trendy, to all honesty. The music was a nice touch, too. I think the music was a nice touch. I couldn't understand a damn word of it, but it was a nice touch.
Yeah, definitely. I can't say a bad word about the production. I think it's for Chinese production, especially, because they aren't really known for kicking it out of the park. They all always.
I don't know.
Had
I've seen some Chinese productions that were trash, dude.
But yeah, props to Celestial League. And damn, I've missed long-running League, guys, because since 2015 ended, actually not even the end of it, around its midpoint, every long-running league came to an end. KPL finished successfully, but was then discontinued, no second season. Nvidia Pro AM was, wow, holy shit, so bad. That led to several scandals and
hold on.
drama.
Let me flip this coin.
You won. And of course we had the PvP Live League that's not going to happen anymore, right? It ended midway after the group stage.
I thought it was supposed to be coming back too.
Yeah, well, PvP Live had the brilliant idea of having a team league. Having the league finished if somebody else paid for it. So that's
what the fuck is that shit?
Yeah,
that is beyond. Oh man,
sounds like a certain politician, but okay.
This is like Fight Night 2.0 at this point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're going to have playoffs and have Mexico pay for it. Yeah,
we're gonna have a tournament and Mexico's
paying for everything, man. Mexico should pay for the BlizzCon prize pool. That's it. Mexico should play for the WESG prize pool as well. So
it'll all be in pesos, so the amount's gonna look really amazing until you realize it's in pesos.
Oh god. But yeah, definitely go watch the Celestial Celestial Invitational. I hugely recommend, because the games are a lot of fun, and you will see every single class all the time, right? Maybe Priest will finally win a game, but anyways,
it did.
All right, it did. Brett won a game today. Yeah, that's true.
Got to see Mind Blast in a tournament too, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo woo. Well, to be honest, we've seen the free sprees that Firebite and Amnesia used to play a lot, and it ran double Mind Blast. This was, I think, around the time of Starladder, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Priest since.
But since the gutting of Priest,
yeah.
We haven't.
But anyways, I want to move to our main topic for tonight. It's the Heroic Brawl that was just announced.
That is not coming out this week.
That is not coming out this week. I actually don't know why everybody was left with the impression that it's coming this week, because the announcement post didn't really say it's coming this week.
Oh my god, like the Twitch chats on multiple different streamers things were going ape shit over this. Like, I talked with a lot of streamers, a lot of players over this. Like, oh my god, this is going to be great. It's like, dude, this is literally Blizzard printing fucking money at this point.
Okay, let me get Raven on the line, guys, so we can be more of us. More of us. If only he picks up now. Raven, come on, buddy! Yay! Yay, Raven! You're live. Yeah.
Oh, he just throws me all off the shit. I've replaced my Raven on the screen.
No.
Hey guys.
Hey. So we're just going to fix a few things now, Raven. Yep.
Now that I ruined everything, as I did.
Yeah, that's
first it was teams.
Leave it to the British. Leave it to the British to fuck up a good thing.
First it was teams, and now it's podcasts.
Don't forget Brexit.
Yeah, Brexit also. You ruined European Union, so
yeah.
Way to go.
Well, they're mostly ruining themselves, but
yeah, but Raven is the major part.
Yeah,
like
there's a clause in the exit strategy that says this is Raven's fault.
Yep.
Sure, I'll take it.
I mean, it's not Subtle, because Subtle is perfect, so it has to be Raven.
Oh, I don't want. Oh man.
Oh god. Just 1 minute, guys. We're fixing the cameras real quick. We'll have Raven's beautiful face.
At least my face is there, but you know, poor Stefan, he's no longer there. Oh well.
No, he is. He is.
Oh, look at my Diva t-shirt, guys.
Oh my god. He's got a Diva tattoo and a Diva t-shirt. It's like he's trying to tell the world something here.
Oh, was I not even on camera when I did that? Oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
You guys saw it. You guys saw it.
You can show off now. You can show off. Come on, show off your David t-shirt. Yeah.
So sick.
Woohoo! All right. So let's get, now that you've showed off your incredible purchase.
Now Control D. There you go.
Yep. Let's get on with the heroic brawl. Just announced last night, as we mentioned. So what is the heroic brawl? Now this is something that will replace the normal brawl for 1 week, and it will feature an entry fee of 1,000 gold or $10, and you'll play arena style, series of games, but with a constructed deck. So you basically make your own deck, you lock it in, you cannot change it, and then you play until you get 3 losses or 12 wins. At the end of the rainbow, of the 12-win rainbow, you win 50 packs, which are from the Whispers of the All Gods, 3 golden legendaries, and about 1,000 dust and gold each.
Yeah.
So this was a big announcement. Obviously, I think this is the first time Hearthstone has ever gotten anything, so challenging. I believe. It's kind of like arena, like standard arena on steroids, basically.
Oh yeah.
So the rewards are lavish, extraordinary. Like 50 packs, you cannot really win this anywhere else.
No. There's, I mean, the closest you get to 50 packs is when you pay when they have a new expansion come out and it's 50 for 50. That's about the closest you're gonna get. But you're also getting golden legendaries. You're getting gold. You're getting,
dust.
Yeah, that's pretty impactful. What I really like about this, impactful. Yeah, I know, bad pun. What I like about this is this could be a really interesting testing platform for something more involved. Like if you looked at some of the other card games that have transitioned to a digital online universe, like you go way back to the original Magic the Gathering online system, their version of competitive stuff was you bought tickets in order to compete in these basically hourly or every 6-hour event type deal, and those were normally about $8. So here we are, 2016. This is $10. Inflation is what it is. Makes perfect sense. But yet we're seeing a lot of people complaining about the price, and mostly it's the free to play community, which tough shit.
Yeah,
guess what? You don't get everything for free.
Thank you.
Life. Guess what? That's a revelation people might only just be getting to, where shit isn't free and shouldn't be free. It's like. This
coming from a guy who lives in a socialist country too. I just like to point that out.
It's so stupid, but I think the best thing about this is a potential. I mean, so the way I view the format is it's effectively worldwide Swiss, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
effectively
kind of,
Swiss. To a large extent.
Well,
And-
if you play on NA, it's definitely worldwide Swiss.
but you know what I mean? It's because it's not a closed bracket, right? They said they're going to try and match you versus similar wins, which is great. But it's sort of worldwide Swiss, and like also the format itself is kind of great. I think I'm one of the few people who like. So I view this as in a tournament mindset. The format of one deck and deal with it. It's basically other card game formats to a large extent, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's instant gut reaction was, "Oh, everyone's playing Shaman, blah blah blah," and it's like, so if everyone is playing Shaman, then guess what you can do? Play decks that perform very well versus Shaman.
Actually, I think it's going to be everybody plays Druid, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but my point is that hopefully, I'm so upset it's only going to be for a week, at least initially, but hopefully it will create its own meta, which is great, and it's going to be super interesting to watch. My only frustration is it's capped on the amount of times you can go on it.
How many times?
I don't think they've said.
I don't think it's officially been confirmed, but there's been rumors of 5.
So $50.
Yeah.
All right. No.
I'm telling you, this is literally Blizzard printing fucking money.
Yeah. But in the best, if they're going to print money, I like them doing it this way because this is cool. Like, I'm a huge fan of this. It's so good.
I'll pay money for this 10 times over than I'd pay for some of the god-awful skins they put out.
Also, as well, it's what they've kind of got to think about. It's something they do very heavily in WoW to large extents is it's also kind of a gold sink because people have 1 billion gold sat around doing nothing, right? So it's actually a nice gold sink as well for those people who play a lot and save their gold. And then also, if you want to just buy in and skip the queue sort of thing, then you can just pay money. And people crying about paying money are just, you know what? If you don't want to pay any money, then you're probably not good enough to get any fucking wins anyway. You know, if you've not got gold or money, then you're probably going to do like 2 wins, 3 losses. So it's probably good that you're not going to do it.
See, Raven's trying to be nice and not say what I'm about to say, which is pretty much fuck off.
Yeah, stop whining, because I saw the thread, like, I really wanted to write something, and I did, so you can go read my feature, my editorial on the topic on Ghost Gamers.
Sell out, mama.
But yeah, obviously I'm selling out at 20 viewers, but the Reddit thread was ridiculous. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I think the only legit complaint you can have is that maybe $10 is a bit of a steep entry, and the timing, it comes at a bit of an awkward time because it's like a week before the new expansion is revealed, right? This is the only thing I can really see people getting upset about, because but Blizzard just want to grab our cash, waste it on All Gods pack, and then we get a new expansion and we'll have to spend real money because we don't have all the gold anymore. Well, guess what? If you're not stupid, you don't have to do that. You can wait for the new fucking expansion. Right?
My only concern is the golden legendaries. I swear to God, if any of them are from TGT, I'm just going to throw a hissy fit. As if I'll get to 12 wins, but if there's like golden TGT legendaries, considering that's one rotating out.
So this is so a couple of those things, like my frustration with it, but I actually genuinely think this will change going forward, because I feel like this, Blizzard have said many times, Brawl is a testing ground for them most of the time. My frustration is it only lasts a week, because then suddenly, if this is a new mode, i.e. tournament mode, whatever mode, doesn't matter, then suddenly the release time doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
because if you can play it in 3 months or tomorrow, who cares, right? Because you can just play it whenever. So fantastic. And I genuinely think this will be some form of ongoing mode in some one form or another in the future, which then I'm okay with. If they want to test it for a week, great. And it's only going to be good for the game. Imagine the Twitch viewership.
That's what I was about to say. Imagine
it's going to be sick.
You know how many people are going to tune into their favorite streamer just to watch them get 0-3'd?
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to see a video from Troll that's basically streamer fails of literally 0-3 runs. It's
going to be so sick. And also something I'm going to flick back very quickly to a point you guys were talking about earlier about formats and wild and stuff like that, is a lot of conversations I was having with the casters over the past couple of weeks is Hearthstone is a little bit boring at the moment. And I
Oh,
think
yeah, just now
Yeah,
made
it's
this fucking
understatement, man. Yeah.
and I think that a lot of it comes down to everything being way too tame, in my opinion. So we've been playing a card game called Shadowverse, where it genuinely feels like everything is OP as shit.
Yep.
But it's the idea of everything's OP and does crazy stuff. But if everything does that, then great. Like fine. If every deck can be like ridiculously OP, then nothing's OP, but it's still fun. I'm swiftly coming to the belief that like, depending on what the next expansion looks like, Wild is going to become a more and more attractive format for people to play because it will do silly things in games. And I don't mean silly RNG wise. I mean like silly synergies, like you mentioned earlier, old Murloc Paladin being insane, but why not be insane for a bit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think Wild, to me, I've not played one game of Wild since it's come out, not one. But I'm swiftly edging towards like, you know what? Maybe I just want to play some like really stupid stuff that is stupidly powerful. Because why not, right? At the moment, the game is very much like, I'm going to play my best 3-drop, then I'm going to go for my best 4-drop, then I'm going to go for my best 5-drop. It's just like very linear play. Whereas I think there's only Freeze Mage and then certain iterations of Druid that are interesting in terms of choices and turns. Yeah. Almost every other deck is boring as shit. And hopefully that changes with the expansion. But yeah, like I think this as well means a deck you're going to take to the 12 win, to the new Heroic Brawl, it's called, right? Might not even be a ladder deck because you really have to think about what you think you're going to face the most, because that's how you get your edge, right? You predict the meta, and that's the only way you're going to get an edge in that. Through playing as well, playing better than the other person, but you really have to predict the meta well, and that is deck building, right? And the fact that you just locked into that one deck is super cool to me.
Yeah. Stephanie wanted to make a point earlier, I believe.
No, not really. Like, but it's definitely like this is for the hardcore for sure. Like, it's not like, I guess it is
casual
just
plebs go to fucking ladder. All right.
Yeah, like this is like the reaction is kind of the natural progression of so much in Hearthstone being, generally speaking, considered for the casual. For so long it's only been about catering to all the new bleeps and all of that, and now we suddenly have something that is
that we've seen in the free-to-play communities of like every single game.
I love it. I'm not gonna get my pack for a week. Oh no! How will you survive?
I know, right? It's
your classic pack, not even.
Yeah, your classic pack.
So, it's so great.
All the complaints basically boil down to entitled little fucking free-to-play plebs that really you provide nothing to the community, provide nothing to Blizzard other than quote-unquote advertisement purposes, and giving basically people like me somebody to beat up on. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, one question I raised in my article is, who is this brawl even made for? And I saw a lot of pro players actually expressing the same concern on Twitter, because obviously it's not for the free to play or the newbies, right? Because they won't make it far. They'll win 1 or 2 games and they'll be out. The rewards are glamorous, sure, but they don't really mean anything to the pro players because they already have all the cards, probably all the gold cards as well. So my answer was like, it only helps the Twitch streamers. That's the only.
Yeah.
Not true. Not true.
I think so in terms of the pros, the pros won't probably give a shit about the rewards, but the pros will give a shit about how many times they can 12-0. Because it's not arena, they'll definitely give a shit.
Badge of honor.
And also, I genuinely think this is an extremely good stepping stone for good players to break into tournaments.
Damn you, Raven! You take everything out of my mouth.
So basically, you're saying, let's do like the 101, but you can do like 101 for Heroic Brawl. I mean, this is how 2 beers, bro.
I mean, for example, you hit Legend, right, in Hearthstone. You've been playing for 6 months, you hit Legend.
Yeah.
How do you know what websites run tournaments? You just don't? So there are people who I've played in like Gfinity Cups or whatever online cups that genuinely are like, this is the first cup I've played. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but whatever. Whereas this gives them a taste of a competitive format without saying, here's this random third-party website you've got to sign up to. Then you have to screenshot and send in decks. You have to read all the rules. Then you have to play for 20 hours. You know,
UK or something. I mean, Jesus Christ, is Google not available in the UK?
No,
like
before
the game was even live. One of the first things I did was like, I want to play in an actual tournament. I heard that there's tournaments for this game. Hearthstone tournament, boom, found Mana Grind. Next thing you know, I was working for them.
One of the first things like you did, but a lot of people don't have that background. Like, so I know this is a few years forward now, but a few years back, when I first found the Liquid website, I was like, what? This is competitive? I just bought it because it was a Blizzard game. StarCraft, I'm talking about. And it's like, well, this is competitive. Like, and I was looking at build orders, and I didn't even know what it meant. And then I was watching VODs. So, like, there's got to be something that bridges the gap. Because Hearthstone has, 50 million accounts? You think 50 million people are aware of the esports scene in Hearthstone? Like, not even close. Not even close. So this is just a good sort of, how do I start playing in tournaments? Well, it's something you can do just for fun, and it's kind of a tournament format. So it gives you that idea of having a deck, having to lock into a deck, playing in a competitive scenario, and then getting some rewards if you're any good. You know, I think it's a really good stepping stone.
I think this is obviously,
my girlfriend's learned to play this game while spinning, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's obviously, Blizzard's testing for tournament mode, right? It's I know Callum from my ex-colleague and now Daily Friday. He was actually concerned that I'm a little worried because we might get this instead of tournament mode, and I don't believe that this is the case, right? I don't. Like, if Blizzard actually do that, which they will never do, like,
no,
they obviously don't understand the game if they do that. But it's not that. Blizzard do know what their game needs. It's so that they will go like, you know what, guys, you want tournament mode, so we won't give it to you, but here's a good replacement for it. No, this is not a good replacement for it. This is a cool additional feature.
This is market testing, to be perfectly honest.
It's market testing, and it's matchmaking testing. And it's format testing, like, does one deck make sense? Like, because this will be super.
I mean, think of the analytics you're going to get from this.
No,
just the analytics alone you're going to get from this is going to be fucking worth it.
Yeah, even if you ignore the analytics, because let's be Blizzard for 5 minutes and think how they do a tournament mode, because
I can't get my head up that far. My ass.
No, just humor me for a second. Like, when they start designing a tournament mode, they want the first thing was, okay, how do we matchmake? And obviously, having a Swiss format is the easiest because you don't have to have a close bracket. So this is something they're testing now with Heroic Brawl. Then they want to have the simplest deck format possible, right? Okay, the simplest obviously is one deck, but will it work? Will it be boring? Will it be stale? Let's try this with Heroic Brawl, because if the answer is yes, it works. So just roll out. It takes one thing less they have to worry about. If the Heroic Brawl is negative on if one deck works, and say, okay, it's all Shaman, all the same Shaman all the time. Obviously, they cannot run the tournament mode with one deck format, so they have to think how to improve it further, like how to enable maybe triple deck or quad deck formats.
Also, as well, let's be honest, they have to work out, are people even going to fucking play it?
Yeah.
Like, if we introduced a new format, how many people out of the 50 million players are even going to play it? Because if it's like 2,000, then
why bother?
Probably ain't worth the money. You know what I mean? Like,
seriously.
How many people are even going to click that button? Like,
yeah. If they introduce something new and it literally only makes fucking 30K, how much money and time did they invest just to make 30K? Exactly. I mean, you got to do the cost thing. But we all know that it's going to be more than that. We definitely know it's going to be more than that. Figure at least 1 million people are going to play it at least once. I'm going to make that estimate right now. At least 1 million people are going to play it once. So that's at least $10 million that Blizzard just banked. Yep. For probably maybe $100,000 of investment.
Yeah, and also as well, in terms of, say, like Callum's concerns about the tournament mode in-game, for example, they still have to make it super accessible, right? Even a tournament mode has to be very, very accessible for the casual player, and that sounds like a ridiculous two things to put together. but it does,
No,
because
yeah,
look, the game's mostly casual. That's just the way it is. But I'll tell you something. Like every single time I've been working over there, I've spoken to the esports guys, or like one guy specifically, and the amount of conversations we've had about tournament formats, from the structure of the actual how the tournament works in terms of bracket or whatever, to then actual deck versions of formats. You know, what decks you take, how many bans, picks, whatever. It is ridiculous. So it's like they are very, very focused on trying to find good formats and good ways to run tournaments. And it's just, I don't know, just to put that one out there before people continue with the whole, oh, Blizzard don't give a shit about competitive Hearthstone. It's like
Blizzard doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, it's like they grill us every single time for long. We sit and discuss this for hours. It's ridiculous. And like, I don't know, like, I think this is such a good first step to, like, you know, move on. It's like, it can only get better. That's my view. It can only get better than this.
What I see them possibly moving to, if this is successful, is probably the entry fee is going to get reduced down. I would say 700 is fine, because then you could easily grind that out in a week, and then that would at least cater somewhat to the free-to-play community. It's like, oh, you want to take part in this? All right, well, bring us 700 gold. I mean, it kind of falls in line with a couple other things that they've done in the past.
And there has to be a buy-in, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
there has to be a buy-in.
Without
a buy-in, it's absolutely worth
it. And it has to be expensive.
What you could see is possible randomness of 12-0ing an arena getting you an auto buy into Brawl, like any of the heroic stuff. I mean, that's another way you could get stuff going around that way, too.
Even as well, like, what would be nice, hit Legend, get a free ticket.
Yeah.
Dang.
Why not? Why not? Because there isn't enough reward.
That's a really great incentive to pushing you to, like, all right, you've made Legend. Are you ready to take it to the next level? I like that. I like that idea. I think that's a really fucking point.
All right. Before we close the topic, end the show, quick question for all of you guys, starting with Stefan, then Raven, then Chiev. What deck are you going to play on your first run?
That's pointless to ask, because we won't know what kind of it's still a brawl. There's still going to be special conditions, and
there is no special.
It's a standard deck.
It's
standard deck.
Yeah, it's standard deck, but there's going to be special alterations.
No,
I don't believe so.
It's standard.
It's literally a ladder deck on ladder in a Swiss format. Yeah. It's literally a tournament mode, pretty much.
Okay, all right. I'll answer for Stefan. It's Druid. End of discussion.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna go for Druid to be at least my first run, because the problem is your first run you have no idea what people are playing, and Druid is just good against everything. You know what I mean? It's just good.
Well, I mean, there's like a triangle of like the top.
You
have the Druid that basically covers what's out there and has good possibilities against all three. So it's perfect.
What are you confused about?
I think you're the one who's read it wrong, because it's not like, yes, you are restricted to standard cards, but you are absolutely still gonna have the usual brawl shenanigans. That's also one of the things they go into on the whole video. They explain, like, they can go really crazy with these conditions, because they're only gonna last for a week. There are going to be special...
Weren't they meaning about brawls in general?
Yeah, I thought
they were explaining the concept of brawls, right?
Yeah.
In that video? They weren't talking specifically about this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's standard, like super standard, like no additional shenanigans.
How about this? If we're wrong, the next episode we're all going to sit here and praise.
It might be me that's wrong too, but yeah.
The video wasn't really well constructed, because it was like for 3 minutes, and for 2 minutes they talk about the heroic brawl and then switch topics, and you kind of think, are they still talking about the heroic brawl or brawls in general?
Yeah, okay.
I think my view is that in what they outlined in the posts or whatever, they talked about standard deck, 12 wins, blah blah blah, and they did not once mention there's going to be anything different about it in terms of brawl style. And I think because they didn't mention anything but mentioned a lot of other stuff, it would be weird if they were like, this 1 week test is going to be Unifarian. So then, you know what I mean, like. And plus, if there was like really weird conditions, I feel it would take away from people who got 12 wins and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it would
I mean, if
automatically feel
10
more RNG.
If I'm paying $10 for fucking the whole Portal Mania bullshit, I'm gonna
Yeah,
feel just like crap.
No, I don't.
I would still think it would be the kind of brawls that would be allowed for constructed, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's it's just constructed
Yeah, okay.
like standard ladder, I believe. But anyways, we'll end the show here at the 1 hour mark exactly.
Holy shit!
Holy shit! We are just so much on time. Thank you so much for joining us, whoever's in chat. Make sure to follow the show on SoundCloud and YouTube and Ghost of Gamers. Just search for us, the Innervated or Ghost of Gamers, you'll find us. Follow us on social media. Stefan is at Sumadin. You can find Raven at TPG_Raven, not on Ghost of Gamers HS, although you should follow that as well.
And I'm gonna slap you again because you got it wrong.
I keep getting it wrong. You can find Chiv at LG_the Chiv, and myself at GG Nidra. We'll see you next week, guys. Tuesday. This will be October 25, a day, 1 day before BlizzCon begins, actually.
And hold on. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, Nidra had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Nidra.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Nidra.
you, guys. Thank you.
43 now?
What?
43?
Oh, shit.
Age?
Just 29. Just 29.
92?
Yeah. I do, like, if I shave, I look 14, by the way. It's
nice. It's a good flexible thing to have, right?
Yeah,
you can either look super young or older.
Or
Why do you
ugly.
think I leave this out? Or I look like I'm 12 if I don't shave.
We should shave for one episode, Chiv.
Oh, God. I don't think people can handle it. I get, like, hate mail when I shave.
That we should. I mean, my girlfriend might dump him, but we should definitely shave for one episode. Let's agree to shave for the 100th episode. That would be cool.
Well, you could just, shave your cat and, glue it back to your face. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we all shave, and then Raven has to grow a beard.
Deal.
Deal for the 100th.
How many episodes till 100?
But 40.
Oh, deal. Sure, deal.
So, but anyways, again, thank you so much for joining us with the show. We'll see you October 25th, 9 o'clock European time, when we will be previewing BlizzCon, because we'll have to know the groups by then. Because it starts kind of the next week. Until then, well, go watch the Celestial League and start saving for the Heroic Brawl. See you guys next time. Bye.